Hi and welcome back to the Training121 PODCAST. For episode number 9 and 10 we've got a two-part series, we can call it I suppose, where we're going to be debating everything United and Liverpool. So starting with this one today, so episode number 9, we're going to be looking at a current combined starting 11 of obviously United and Liverpool players. Now Morgan's getting a bit fidgety here, so hopefully it's we put some good arguments.
It would be non-biased. Disclaimer: if you don't know us, we're all United fans. Big hater of Liverpool, I am.
You are, not me.
Average.
I'm a Liverpool fan now.
But no, I'll be non-biased. We'll be fair for this one.
And for just some parameters for it, so because it's a current team, we're going off a mix of players' ability, so they could be in poor form now, but you can still argue that they are a very good player, for example, and also current form comes into it, so we'll say kind of the last year or so.
Year, maybe two if there's a debate in there.
And then we're going to stay with a 4-3-3 for this one with the current team, and then for the next episode we'll obviously explain that in the next one what we're going to do.
Yes.
So
go straight into it. GK.
Do we do nominations
It's
first?
one of two. It's like, you can't really debate. Yeah, you can't debate Adrian.
No Karius? Champions League final appearance, De Gea doesn't have that.
I have a day off. Have a day. You must be having a bubble bath.
Well, no, but you're talking parameters. That could be a parameter.
Yeah, well, write him off the list because he's not, honestly. He cost
last 2 years.
Are you joking me?
Well, all I'm saying, you're talking parameters. Don't be twisting the rules your own way. You already started it now.
We're talking about individual players and actual ability.
And who does
Are you
he
telling me
play for?
Karius outweighs Alisson, let alone De Gea?
And who does he play for?
Besiktas.
Current Liverpool United team. Names of Besiktas.
Sorry.
I can't believe you threw him in there.
Is he on loan? They sold him.
I think he's on loan.
Oh,
Okay. Current players.
I thought you meant like the other way for the next episode. It's like
It can be
from obviously you explained the rules after, but this one, so they have to be currently
in their
playing.
squad right now.
Okay, that's okay. No problem.
G's team has been. Did you actually have him down?
Karius?
No, we didn't.
Oh.
He's mad. It's playing devil's advocate.
Right. Okay. Who are you putting for?
Okay, I have gone with. Are you gonna pay
Jersey
attention?
Go.
Well, are you gonna cut across me again?
Oh
Or?
God!
Go.
Answer.
Also my birthday weekend, so
Happy birthday, G. Leave birthday comments for G in the comments. Birthday comments for G in the comments. Happy birthday, G. Happy birthday, G.
thanks, guys. I've gone for Alisson.
I've also gone for Alisson.
I will probably go for Alisson, although there's debate in there for De Gea. I know he's been form-wise, it's ruled him out. I think if he was still playing consistently well, it would be De Gea for me, considering the amount of years he's been in the league and consistently been in the league. He was the best goalkeeper, and you could debate. I know his form's bad at the moment, but he has been the best goalkeeper, if not in the Premier League, in the world for the last 4 or 5 years.
Consistently,
Definitely. Now he's gone through a bad bit of form. He's actually playing very well again now. But considering Liverpool won the league last year and they're in a decent position to go compete again this year, I don't think you can debate that De Gea is outweighing Alisson at the moment.
Yeah. I think that's more of a form decision because I think ability-wise they're like, I'd say I picked De Gea early on ability.
Now he's very dodgy for a mistake, because I'm going to throw it in there. But I think De Gea as a goalkeeper, I think is better.
Yeah, I think that's quite an easy one then. We'll go Alisson.
Yeah, I think it's an easy decision.
Alright. So we'll go fullbacks.
Yeah,
we'll name both of them, I think.
Quite easy. So the one debate, I think left full is no debate.
Yeah.
I think we all agree with that.
Well, Man United having a consistent left full for.
I'd actually debate Alex Telles over Luke
six.
Shaw, so that's where we're at the moment. But right full, I think there is a debate between Wan-Bissaka and Trent, the typical defender versus attacking. But considering the amount that Trent contributes to forward play, Wan-Bissaka does not outdo it in his defensive role, I don't think at all. I think because he's such a good reactive defender and how he defends, and so it's actually very nice to watch because he always goes to ground and it's very easy to see he's a good one-on-one defender, but he actually gets caught an awful lot, does a lot of stupid things. But he's definitely defensively much better than Trent. Trent is actually terrible defensively, he really struggles, but offensive play definitely outweighs defensive play at this.
I think you're far too harsh on Trent being terrible at defending.
For his level.
No, but your argument there was Alexander-Arnold or Wan-Bissaka doesn't outmatch Trent as being an offensive player, which means that you're saying, and quote me if I'm wrong here, but if you're saying that Wan-Bissaka is nowhere near as good as Trent, then you're saying that Wan-Bissaka is terrible at attacking, if that's the word that you want to constitute.
No, he's poor going forward. I never said terrible at
well, on the flip side of that, I don't think Alexander-Arnold, I think that the gap between their defensive qualities is much shorter than the gap in their attacking qualities, if that makes sense.
So you think the difference between Trent's attacking and Wan-Bissaka's attacking is a bigger gap than defensively?
Yes, I think so. I think it's no question that Trent's a better footballer.
Footballer, absolutely.
Yeah, footballer.
Defensively,
he's a better footballer. I don't think he's a better player.
I'd agree.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that, but defensively Trent is poor.
And I think
but
the things that Trent...
Hold on a minute. I'm going to get at him.
Go.
Hold on a minute.
Go.
You're missing the point. He is a better football player. He's a better footballer. Then we constitute this as footballer.
I agree with that.
And he's a better player. He's not reactive. He doesn't rely on physical qualities to get back possession. He's a better defender in regards to spatial awareness.
No, so you're saying he's more
I seen 3 goals this year of Wan-Bissaka getting caught at the back post.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's very poor at the back post, but Trent is not a good one-on-one defender, and spatially he's not a good defender at all.
Defending is not just 1v1.
I said 1v1 and spatially, and also
he is not.
He gets caught out so many times. He does.
I get what he's saying. He's saying that Alexander-Arnold doesn't need to rely on being physical, whereas Wan-Bissaka, that's what he has. His physicality is his defensive. Yeah. It's like
Trent doesn't impose any sort of defensive attributes for me.
I probably don't watch him enough specifically defensively.
I've seen plenty of games. I'd love to go and clip the two of them and watch them specifically.
My argument would be for Trent. I think what Trent needs to improve in this game is easier to improve over the years than what Wan-Bissaka.
That's why
I just don't think Wan-Bissaka has it. Whereas Trent, like when he gets older, he'll like learn his distances and things like that, and how he needs to be a better defender. But that's for me. I think we all would probably agree it is Trent. To be fair,
Trent. Trent is definitely the more rounded footballer.
And then Robertson.
That wasn't the debate. The debate is defending.
No,
Trent is a poor defender.
I was catching you on because you chose your words wrong.
I didn't say terrible.
Yeah, you said he wasn't a terrible defender.
You said he's a terrible defender.
All right. Okay. Well, he's a poor defender.
Okay. Because the way I took that was that if Trent's a terrible defender, you were quoting Bissaka as a terrible attacker, and he didn't say that. But the way that you were talking about Trent,
I didn't say Wan-Bissaka was terrible going forward. He's poor going forward. Like he's very one-dimensional.
And then, as you understand, Gary, like I was saying, the gap between Alexander-Arnold's attacking and Trent's and Wan-Bissaka's attacking is miles ahead. Like that's a monumental difference. But the defending, in my opinion, the gap isn't as big. I think it's there.
Yeah.
Which constitutes that, in my opinion, he's better.
Yeah, Trent. Yeah.
Much more. I don't think there's a debate.
Definitely.
And then I think it's Robertson left foot easy enough.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a debate there at all.
Yeah. He's probably easy, one of the most well-rounded fullbacks going at the minute.
So. I do not like him personally.
I don't like his personality, but he's very good. Right, centre halves.
Alright, you two can have a debate over this one.
Van Dijk's
first.
Yeah. Van Dijk's in, that's easy. I think we can all debate that.
I have Van Dijk on the left,
And then I have Maguire partner.
I have Maguire as well.
I have Maguire. Purely.
I think a lot of people will debate that Joe Gomez should be in there, not a chance.
I'd put Matip in before Gomez. So I actually rate Matip. I think he is. If I was tiering the three, then I think Maguire is in between what Matip is and what Van Dijk is. He's not a Van Dijk standard, but he is
he's definitely not a Van Dijk standard. But I think he's very underrated as a defender. He does some stupid things.
I think Maguire would be very good with Van Dijk.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a very good partnership. Actually, seeing that play together.
I think anyone with Van Dijk looks good, but Maguire is a very good defender, especially in the air. His aerial threat is absolutely ridiculous. So I think that's an easy debate. So back five constituted of 4 Liverpool players, and I think that spells the picture of how they are
currently
been over the last couple of years.
Yeah. In terms of midfield, will we go?
We'll go with 6 first. So who do you have in your debate? Obviously we have Hendo. I probably put down as a 6. I know he's been playing a little bit more. You could debate him as an 8 as well if you want. I have Fred in there, Fabinho, Thiago, and Matic.
McTominay.
I had him as an 8, but like same. They keep debating.
I played a flat 2 with a 10.
Fair enough. I went with
I'll probably do the same. I'd probably debate the same. Yeah.
I went with 1.
You could probably interchange a lot of them to play as a 1 or a 2 though.
Well, we just name our midfield 3 and kind of explain the rationale behind
We
it.
go from right to left again.
Yeah. So you name your midfield.
So I need to. Will I name my midfield 3 and talk about them?
Yeah.
Alright, I went with a flat 2. So I went with Gini, Thiago beside him, and I went with Bruno in the 10. I love Fabinho.
Yeah.
He was gonna go straight in there, but I was thinking, I think Thiago is probably single-handedly the best all-round centre midfielder in the world at the minute. So I think the whole aspect of that midfield 3 should be around him more so. I'd even use Bruno as a facilitator for Thiago as well. So that's why I had Gini there. I think he's a little bit more well-rounded in regards to covering spaces in wide areas, being able to connect with the units.
Gini's a great player.
Yeah, he's class.
Love him.
Underrated.
Bruno's in there just purely for creative reasons.
He's sick.
He's great set pieces. He has a really good eye for goal. He works extremely hard off the ball.
Extremely good off a press, isn't he? Yeah, he's very good defensively.
And then obviously Thiago is a magic man.
Daily.
So I've gone with 1 defensive midfielder and 2 kind of advanced midfielders. I went Fabinho as a 6 and then Thiago, and I have Bruno / Gini there, but I'm probably going to go with Bruno. Again, Fabinho is class.
Yeah.
I rate him. And again, because of the way, if you were looking at the team we're going to put down as a functional team, I'd pick the key attackers for Liverpool when they attack would be their fullbacks and their wingers, which is why they're all on my team. Spoiler. And I think when you do that, you need a 6 who is a stay-at-home 6, which is where I'd argue against you having a Thiago and a Gini, is that they're both roamers, I suppose is the best way to put them. Which is why
I've kind of been playing as a whole more so now.
I think Fabinho is just better at covering again spaces behind fullbacks when they advance. He's very good on the ball. He's underrated on the ball. He reminds me of Carrick actually a lot. I really like him. Thiago as an 8 is kind of, as Gary said, he's the best all-round midfielder probably gone in the world. One of them at the moment. And then between Bruno and Gini, I'm going to go with Bruno just to get a United player in there, but I think there's different reasons to have them. Bruno will probably get you more goals maybe, and then set pieces and things like that, but Wijnaldum's a very, very good player. I rate him highly.
So you've all left out a World Cup winner?
Pogba's not in it.
No.
Ability wise, should be in it. Absolutely. I think we can easily debate that. He's a joke. Even for France last night, he's very good. But form wise, he just hasn't. No. I don't think you can even debate it.
Yeah, I think form is the biggest issue with United players. Like Matic is kind of getting on as well, and form. And then I have Fred written down there on the side. Now he has been very good
for form, definitely. Ability wise, he does not outdo any of them.
But form
wise, he's been absolutely super.
He's worth a shout.
Yeah.
But so you go to your 3.
So my debate, right, was Thiago or Fabinho as a 6. So I agree with everything both of you said. So in my team, you definitely cannot leave out Thiago, and I don't like Thiago advanced, so I would like to play him holding. So I would play Thiago with Gini and Bruno. I think Gini's so good.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Yeah.
He gets around, I hate that term getting around, but he's so effective, and in possession underrated as well. Do you know why Kante gets slated a little bit for being technically Kante's very good technically. He does his job. He reminds me of Gini. While Gini would be a little bit better at breaking lines and stuff. I think if you're again with functionality, Thiago I'd have sitting in front, and I'd have Gini roam, and he'd do the fullback areas where Thiago would just drop in and interchange, and then Bruno kind of like a free roll, who was also excellent at setting and press. So would you debate the Fabinho? I really rate Fabinho. I think he's a great player as well. I think him and Rodri are the 2 best defensive holding midfielders in the league at the moment.
No, I'll roll with your teams. I agree with that. I wouldn't disagree.
A single.
No, go to 2.
To be fair, if you had that 3 and you had Fabinho as well.
Yeah, go with the flat 2 with the 2 up front.
Change.
Right, front 3.
We'll go wide left first.
Do you want to start?
Wide left, definitely Mane. Mane's probably him and De Bruyne are probably the 2 best players in the Premier League at the moment. I think Mane's a joke. He's so functional. You look at Jota in there, he's actually, I wouldn't say similar, but the way they both play the role is really good. Mane's unbelievable inside, he's so good outside, both feet, inside runs, in the air, threat, excellent pressing as well. The amount of fouls and stuff he buys by just nicking in, he's so well rounded.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's
I think he goes in left wing.
Right side.
Salah.
Salah, yeah. This is looking a bit easier than we probably thought. Wait till we get to the all-time one.
Salah definitely. Same thing applies. He's just so good.
He actually got a lot of stick last year first because he didn't get 40 odd goals, but his scoring stats are still ridiculous, and he's
so good,
clinical as they come. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of this. I think Mane is a stronger player in general, but Salah's killer.
The debate is the 9.
I have Rashford in there purely for direct reasons.
I have Rashford and I have an arrow between him and Salah because I actually don't really like Rashford as a number 9.
Yeah,
like me, in our group of friends, I'm quite strong in that opinion, which is why I have him like rotating into wide areas because that's a very mobile front.
Well, like who else would you debate? You debate Bobby. You debate Martial. Martial's not even in the discussion. He's awful as a number 9. Although his goal scoring stats are super, he is terrible up front. Like he's just so poor. The other day, who we playing the other day? United.
Last week.
Yeah.
You count the Champions League game or the
Everton.
Oh my god, bullied. He's so poor coming to feet. And then in behind, he looks naive or something like that as a number 9.
You only think he's going to do it when he's actually dribbling with the ball. He doesn't look like he has any other way of treading.
He's very good off the wide left. His combination play is lacking now. He could get very good because his goal scoring is super. It's just he doesn't do enough for me. Now you completely go the opposite way and say that's all that Bobby does, and he's really good at that type of stuff. His combination play is excellent.
For me, it was much more likeable, I think, as a person.
I personally don't like Martial. Yeah, I hate his.
I'm saying, so he gets a lot of stick. Or is so important just for young players listening. You got to play the game with style. And so people have bad opinions.
He's a sulker.
You know,
he looks
people do not like players that conduct themselves poorly.
I'm a big critic of Firmino because Liverpool. I just don't like him, but I've said it in the chat the other day to you, Stu. When he came off the other day, he hasn't scored in ages yet, and you could tell on his sense his frustration in the game, and he was trying to get into it, almost trying to overdo things, and he got hooked at 65 minutes for Jota, and he sprints off straight away by high five, gets straight off the pitch. Well, if that's Martial, 10 minutes to go, his club's off, he's like,
it's a jog, it's a walk.
I hate that. So
that's hard as well.
He's a great team player.
Yeah,
he'll be a legend in Liverpool for that reason.
Yeah, like Jota has probably been brought in as maybe not a replacement for him, because Firmino's touching on the late 20s, 30s, so he's probably coming in as a replacement for him. So
I think Marcus plays with there.
Yeah, I think we'll go with that.
Too dynamic
to
leave out.
Honourable shouts that we've left out. You could debate. Now this is a bit audacious considering age. Cavani as a number 9. Cavani's a joke.
Yeah.
Cavani's a super player. He's not formed. He hasn't played enough games for United to constitute, but I think you can't not mention Cavani in a squad like that. He's a big enough name, big enough player.
Yeah.
He's a killer. He's a killer. Him and Dom Cavalier, we'll throw him in there.
I like Dom.
Player as well, yeah.
It's a functional team, that.
It is a functional team. That'd be a very good team. So how many United players? 3.
Not a lot of egos on that side either.
No.
I tell you what I like about that, the United players you brought in there. I think that constitutes a Liverpool team. So I think Liverpool have the overweighing selection. So I think it's important you're nearly
look where the positions are as well.
You're nearly replacing the poorer players in Liverpool's system with better equipped players.
Yeah.
And I think
it's Liverpool's team with 3 better players.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Liverpool's biggest critic is their midfield 3. I don't know. I find it very difficult to listen to Liverpool fans in regards to their midfield 3. I think they're far too emotionally invested in Henderson and players like that to see the bigger picture. And to be fair, Henderson is getting better by the years.
He's playing better.
Yeah, to be fair to him. In terms of his, I think the best thing for COVID stuff is actually listening to players, and to be fair to Henderson, his information is fantastic.
It's actually good.
So concise.
To watch. Simple, concise.
So concise.
Very easy. Is it difficult? It's just positive reinforcement all the time.
Yeah, I reckon players play for Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think people talk a lot about, like, obviously that conversation we had about talent and stuff like that, but at the end of the day it really is just a minuscule part of football. So I don't know, maybe to really appreciate what Henderson is good at, you have to be in and amongst his circle, or in his camp.
Probably, yes.
It's probably the same as likes like Roy Keane and all. Like, I'd say he seems like a madman when everyone talks about the stories, but the people who played with him said he was the man. Like,
yeah,
the way it is.
Yeah, you
have to be in it.
I said that before. Like, we don't, like, people don't really have opinions on football. I think in that case we really don't. We have no idea what the guy's like.
When I talk about him, I'm a fan of United. which is okay. I think I'm allowed a little bit of leeway, so every so often as a fan rather than watching it as a coach.
And I think it's important, and it's like the Trent versus Wan-Bissaka debate on like being
on sport ball.
About there's two ways to be a defender. The idea of, I think Wan-Bissaka's actually really highlighted that for kids now, that. And for coaches as well, people used to always tell us when you're younger as coaches, don't dive in. Why not? If you're really good at it, then do it, because that's what your strength is. And the same idea with, if you look at the Liverpool team, I know their midfield probably doesn't get enough praise because they're almost like three facilitators now, because all their attacking threat is the fullbacks and the front three. They attack with them five, and obviously it works for them. And then they've obviously got the two solid at the back, a solid goalkeeper, and then a midfield three of, without Thiago last year, well, their midfield trio was probably Fabinho, Gini and Henderson, with Keita kind of coming in. Like, they're not world beaters, they wouldn't get into like a Real Madrid or whatever, but they're just really, really good facilitators for that system. For the system,
the recruitment is absolutely on the money.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. Football's a great game.
And in 2 or 3 years that can go, like, without that midfield three, I think they really struggle as a team, considering the fullbacks.
One super sub now you can put on the bench.
That's good.
Any position.
Yeah, that's a good
one
addition.
Super sub
from obviously Real names. So
I've one of two that I pick.
Your Cavani, your Pogba's.
I've one of two.
I'm trying to think who would.
I'm gonna debate mine too.
I'd probably just go Pogba. I just think he's quite good off the bench.
Mine would be Pogba or Jota. Jota, because he's anywhere across the front three, you could probably play him in the 10 as well. Dynamic, good in the press. You could put him on to see a game out, and you can put him on to see win again. And Pogba, because ability, play anywhere in the midfield three. Also can play wide left.
I would have Jota.
If you only had one.
Because I think, how do I debate this? I need one of my midfield and I need one of my front three, because I think my front three is a little bit too dynamic, if that makes sense. So I would include a Jota or a Cavani, purely because of their individual roles. More so a Cavani as just a lone 9, if that makes sense. So there's a little bit more structure to the front three. I wouldn't put in Pogba because I already have Thiago and Bruno as creative outlets.
You wouldn't bother him?
No. If anything, I put Fabinho in there in case I needed to take off a Thiago or a Bruno and even solidify it more. Probably a bit more pragmatic in that nature, but I am more pragmatic generally.
So if you were winning the game, you'd rather Fabinho?
I would rather Fabinho on the bench, because I still think, we're talking about gaps with Bissaka and Trent. I don't think Fabinho's gaps are as far as Pogba's. I think he's a lot more of an all-rounded player. Like, I'd bring Fabinho in purely to take Thiago off and shut the door, or take Bruno off and shut the door, at the same time still maintain the ball.
For a system, I'd agree with Fabinho, but I'm just going off one super sub and just ability that you just can't leave out. It's Jota, it's Cavani, or it's Pogba.
Alright.
And then with Fabinho,
well, you're wrong.
Fabinho's a super player. So who would you put in there? We've to agree on one. So if we're thinking system,
it always does.
Fabinho.
Yeah, it depends on the game, doesn't it? I think if you're winning the game, it's Fabinho. If you're losing it, it's Jota. Currently, anyway.
Cards down. Jota.
I'm going with Jota. Right. I already have it written now.
This actually proved to be way easier than we actually thought. But the only issue was the centre midfield.
Look at me next one.
And even then,
yeah,
the book is closed.
That was, what time was that? It's only way less than
25 minutes.
Shortest
for United, Liverpool. Well done, us.
Shortest podcast, yeah.
Well, that just absolutely proves that Liverpool are leaps and bounds ahead of United at the moment.
A Liverpool City won't be interesting.
Yes, it would. It would be completely different.
Because you could
actually, I would debate that. Actually, it might be a little bit more similar. I'd have to really think about that. That would be a good one. Do you want to see that one? I'd love to see that one. Actually, I'd love to write that out in my head.
I don't watch enough City.
I watched a good bit of City this year.
I don't watch enough City.
Joe, who'd be in the squad for a fact? Ruben Diaz.
He's very good.
What a defender.
He's class for Portugal, actually. He's very good.
Right, off topic. Okay, we're going to go back to back and record a second one now. We're going to do the kind of the olden era. Well, I was born the year before.
I had to control my the whole way I come up with stupid stuff.
You said Carrius at the start.
I was going to say something stupid there.
What was it?
It's ridiculous.
I don't want to hear it.
No,
I don't want to hear
I'm
it.
not saying it.
Okay. Wrap up. Yeah.
Wrap up.
Right.
Wrap up.
Right.
Okay. Come back for the second episode or part 2.
Part 2, yeah.
Part 1 and 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Nice.
See you
Good
soon.
reference.
See you next time.